Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do this for our online students, and I'm going to cut this up into a few pieces to do the resolve vectors, but let's start. So the first thing I'll do is take a look at this. We're going to resolve each one of these vector sets to get an answer of the solution. Okay, and I'm going to go to model space and then use the lengthen command to make each line, each vector, the right length. Then I'm going to resolve them. I'm going to put them head to toe. And then I'm going to place all, that's what I mean here. You're going to resolve them, put them head to toe. Draw the resolved vector from the start point to the end point. And what's really cool about this is it doesn't matter which order you put the vectors in, head to toe. It can be any order. It's really cool. And then I'm going to extract the data to the to a worksheet. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to work on this one first. Okay, so the first thing to do though is I'm going to make my own copy of this file. Save as, and I'm going to make this my solution. Okay, so now I have my own copy of this. That's like you guys downloading it and saving a copy. I'm going to go over here, and you're going to see there's a bunch of these, and that's not 150 long. This is more like an engineering sketch. It's only like 1.05. It's nothing. It's just like it's got the right direction, but it's not the right length. So I'm going to move that somewhere that I can get that to be the right size. Actually, I think it'll miss everything as I go. So here I go. I'm going to click on it. Type LEN, lengthen. Well, I could have done that first because now I have to click on it. Click. And say T for total. And 150. And now that's 150 long. I like to take that stuff and move it to the end. Okay, now that really is 150 long. Whoops, there we go. It's really 150 long. So that's my first step. I'm going to do that with each of these. LEN to a total of 200. Enter and select. I just hit escape there to get out of it. Move. This one's going to be 80. LEN to a total of 80. Select this one. Hit escape and I'm out of it. I didn't get everything there. There we go. Move. And when I move, I'm going to this little endpoint right there. And my last one, LEN, enter, T for total, and this one is 180. And select M for move, and take it from this endpoint all the way out to here. And those are just to help me visualize. Now I'm going to move this other stuff out of the way. Just going to get it over here because it's out of the way now. Oh, and I obviously didn't do this one right over here. I don't know what I've got on there. I think my arrow just got 1,000,000 miles long is all. There we go. Let's try that one again. Move from that point. That looks a little better. And now I can move these things again. Sorry about that little. There we go. And that's my origin. Okay, now I'm going to do something just because I know I'm going to need it later on. Oh, the other thing I should do, I need to be in a 2D drafting workspace. This is 2D work. I'm going to set my layers and I'm going to create a new layer right here. So I'm going to take this geometry layer and I'm going to make a new one right after it, and that's going to be my problem 1 geometry. I'm going to make them black. And let's see. I'll make them 024. It won't really matter. So now I have my problem 1 geometry, and I can put these on that because these lines are my problem 1 geometry. And I'm going to send those out later on, so I want to be able to do that. My next step is to take those head to toe. And it does not matter what order I do that in. So I'm going to move this from the end point of this thing out to there. Move these from the end point over to there, and move these from the end point over to there. And then my solution is going to be from the start of this one to the end of this one. So I think I'm going to actually do another one, make a new one. It's called my problem 1 solution. I'm going to make that one red just for fun. And I'm going to make it Phantom, maybe would be a good one. That's kind of cool. And I'm going to make it 0.024. That's fine. I'll make that my current. And now I can draw a line. This is my resolved vector. That's it right there. And if you want to put an arrow on it, you can. I would go back to my 0 layer because we're not going to need this little arrow later on. But to put an arrow on, remember it's a polyline. Tell it where to start. Type W for width. Start width is 0. I think the end width is like 2. And then I can hit it nearest. So that line right there, that's my resolution for problem number 1. So you're going to do that for each one of these. These would be labeled problem 2. These ones labeled problem 3. It's going to get really big and spread out all over the place. Okay, once you've got them all done, what I'm going to ask you to do is extract each of the XY components from each of the layers. Okay, so let's see how we'll do that. So you've got these all done. Now I'm going to extract some certain information. So I'm going to go back to, that's on my insert tab, I think, extract data. And I'm going to create a new data extraction. I'll put it, for right now, I'll just put it on my desktop. That'll be, maybe I'll go back and find the right spot for it. my drive, I'll put it into this one. Coursework, all this stuff to do, 310, resource files, vectors. This is my vector resolution extraction. And actually I need to select certain objects, and I'm going to select these ones for right now. This is going to be my problem 1. And I really want the lines. Oops, wrong way. I want to get the lines. That's what I'm interested in. And I want the geometry. I want delta x and delta y of each one. And let's see. I don't need that drawing. I want I'm going to clear all. If I right click over here, I can uncheck all. Get my general and my right click, uncheck all. I want delta x, delta y, and layer. That should be it. And I don't need to combine identical rows. I don't need the column count, and I don't need the name column. But I want my layer to go over here. I should filter out my 0. I don't know. Oh, those ones. Okay, so yeah. So I can filter those out later on. Those are my little ones. But all my problem 1 geometries and my problem 1 solution is all here. I get a delta x and a delta y. That's the distance in x and distance in y. If it's negative, it's going backwards. If it's positive, it's going forwards. I'm going to take these out later on, but let me just go like that, change it. These ones, my 0 layers, are all of the little things down in here. So I'm not going to need those later, but this will be okay. I'm going to output that data. And again, I'm going to have to go find it. I'm going to go into my Google Drive, my drive, coursework, 310, resource files, sector 4, here it is. It's going to be right here. And I'm going to do it, I'll do it as an Excel file. That's fine. It can either be that or a CSV. Remember, I can pick either one, a CSV or an Excel, because when I'm going to put it as a CSV just to make it easier. Okay, and then I'm going to save it. That's the main first part. You're going to do that for each of the problems. You can actually, if you get your layers set right, you can do the whole, you can do all 3 of these and then do it. And if you want to get it a little bit more clear, you can, if you want, erase those before you do the extraction. Just makes it one step easier. But what we're going to get is the delta x and the delta y of each one of these lines and this one. And when we go to Google Spreadsheets, we'll be able to check that all the delta x and delta y's of these added up equal the delta x and the delta y of your extraction, of your resolution. That will lead us to another conclusion at the very end. So that's the first part of what you should do for resolve vectors. And then in another video, I'll show you how we use the spreadsheets.